All right, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, affects pretty much every single one of us. How do we get our focus back in a world that feels like it's designed to steal it? We're going to look at our attention in a totally new way, not as some big war we have to win, but more like a path we can learn to navigate.
Wow, just let that sink in for a second. That line just perfectly nails that quiet, kind of epic implosion that happens inside our heads every time we get sucked down an internet rabbit hole. It really sets the stage, doesn't it?
So to get a handle on what's going on, we're going to use this really powerful metaphor. The idea is that we're not just distracted. No, it's more like we're lost. We're lost inside a labyrinth. And this is a huge shift in thinking. The labyrinth isn't some external thing. It's a state of mind. It's this structure that we build inside ourselves piece by piece with every tiny decision we make. Every just one more scroll, every I'll just check this one email. Yep, that's another brick in the wall.
This breaks it down perfectly. Think about it. Every single notification is a false corridor. It promises something urgent, but usually leads nowhere. All those open tabs, just twisting passages, scattering your energy. The walls themselves, they're actually built from our own brain's system for deciding what's important, which has been totally hijacked. And the Minotaur, the monster at the center of the maze, it's not some beast out there. It's us. It's that fragmented part of ourselves that's forgotten what it feels like to be truly present and whole.
Okay, so this labyrinth idea sounds, poetic. But it's not just a metaphor. Let's look at what's actually physically happening to our brains in this state of constant distraction.
The difference is just stark. On the left, you've got a focused brain, able to follow one thread for hours. And on the right, well, that's what a lot of us are living with. A brain that acts like a pinball machine, just bouncing from one thing to the next. Neuroscientists like Joe Dispenza have shown that when we constantly fire up these distraction circuits, we're literally pruning away the neural pathways we need for deep focus. Our brain's default mode network, which is supposed to be for quiet reflection, turns into this hall of distorting mirrors, just a place for anxiety to echo around.
And this is the real kicker. The cost here isn't just about losing productivity, it's not just about wasted minutes. When our attention is shattered like this, day after day, we start to lose our coherent, stable sense of who we are. We lose ourselves.
But here's the good news. It is not a hopeless situation. Every labyrinth and every myth has a solution, a thread to lead you out. And the antidote to this one, it's actually hidden right there inside the trap. It's a thread we already have.
Which, of course, brings us to the real question. If we can't just tear down the walls, how in the world do we navigate this maze without getting hopelessly lost?
And the answer might surprise you. It's not hours of meditation or some extreme digital detox. In one case, it took just 37 seconds. That's it, 37 seconds to overcome a really powerful urge to get distracted.
So, here's how it works. First, you just feel it, that pull, that itch to grab your phone. But instead of fighting it or giving in, you do step 2. You gently turn your attention toward it. No judgment, just pure curiosity. Step 3, you can even give it a name, something like, hello, dopamine craving. This gives you a little space. And then finally, you just rest in that awareness and watch. You watch the urge build, crest, and then it just fades away on its own, like a wave that just fizzles out before it reaches the shore.
Now, that's an amazing tool for those in-the-moment battles. But if we really want to get good at this, if we want to become skilled navigators of our own minds, we need to practice. So let's talk about 3 daily rituals that can help us do exactly that. And it's so important to get this. These are not productivity hacks. This isn't about squeezing more out of your day. This is about something deeper. It's about learning to spin that life-saving thread from your very own nervous system. Ritual number 1 is the dawn anchor. We're talking 20 minutes, just 20 minutes of quiet, unbroken presence before you even look at a screen. You can meditate, journal, or just stare out the window with a cup of coffee. You see, that first hour of the day basically sets the operating system for your nervous system for the next 23 hours. Second is the deep work citadel. Why 92 minutes? Well, it lines up pretty well with our natural biological rhythms, these things called ultradian cycles. But the time isn't as important as the intention. You create a sacred, defended block of time for pure, single-task focus. Phone goes in another room, door closed, maybe a specific playlist. You are literally training your brain that this time is non-negotiable. And finally, at the end of the day, you have the evening harvest. This is where you look back and reflect. You ask, where did my attention get pulled away today? And, this is key, you do it without any shame. Just curiosity. And, just as important, you take a moment to really savor and remember the times when you were present. By doing this, you're not just surviving the labyrinth, you're turning it into your own personal training ground.
So when you put all of these practices together, what's the actual goal here? What are we really aiming for? It requires one last, really important shift in how we see things.
And this is it. This is the heart of the matter. The goal isn't to escape. Let's face it, we're not going to find some magical distraction-free world. The real quest is to build the inner skill, the resilience, to walk through the chaos of the modern world without losing ourselves in it.
Here's maybe the biggest takeaway of all. We talk about our attention like it's a resource to be managed, like time or money. But it's so much more fundamental than that. Your attention, what you choose to place it on from one moment to the next, is the literal substance of your reality. It's the raw material you're using to build the person you are becoming.
So where do you find that thread, that guide rope to lead you through the maze? Well, the most beautiful and empowering part of this whole idea is that it was never outside of you to begin with. You don't need to buy it or download it. The thread has always been your own pulse.